Drug trafficking, the illicit trade of illegal drugs, has a complex and controversial history that spans centuries and continents. From its origins in ancient civilizations to its modern-day global impact, the history of drug trafficking is intertwined with social, economic, and political factors that have shaped the world's approach to drug control and enforcement. Ancient roots. The history of drug trafficking can be traced back to ancient civilizations that cultivated and traded psychoactive substances for religious, medicinal, and recreational purposes. The use of opium, cannabis, and coca leaves dates back thousands of years in cultures such as those of ancient Egypt, China, and the Americas. Colonialism and trade routes. During the era of colonialism, European powers established trade routes that facilitated the movement of drugs across continents. Opium trade in Asia, particularly the Opium Wars involving China, underscored the destructive impact of drug trafficking on societies. Colonial powers exploited local economies and fueled addiction among populations. Opium Wars and international control. The 19th century witnessed significant efforts to control drug trafficking, particularly opium. The Opium Wars between Britain and China led to treaties restricting opium trade. The Hague Opium Convention of 1912 marked an early attempt at international cooperation to regulate narcotics. Prohibition and the rise of organized crime. The early 20th century saw the prohibition of drugs in many countries, leading to the emergence of organized criminal networks involved in drug trafficking. The prohibitionist approach gave rise to a lucrative black market and widespread criminal activity. Modern-day challenges. The latter half of the 20th century and beyond brought heightened efforts to combat drug trafficking. The United Nations establishment of the International Narcotics Control Board and the adoption of various international drug control treaties aimed to curb the production, trafficking, and consumption of illegal drugs. Global drug trade and cartels. The rise of powerful drug cartels in countries like Colombia and Mexico brought violence and instability to regions. These criminal organizations capitalized on the demand for drugs, using sophisticated smuggling routes and methods to transport narcotics across borders. Law enforcement and alternatives. Governments worldwide have implemented various strategies to combat drug trafficking, including law enforcement operations, drug interdiction efforts, and demand reduction programs. Some countries have also explored harm reduction approaches and the decriminalization of drug use to address the root causes of drug-related issues. The history of drug trafficking is a complex narrative shaped by cultural, economic, and political forces. While efforts have been made to control and combat drug trafficking, it remains a significant challenge with far-reaching consequences for societies and individuals. As the world grapples with the implications of drug trafficking, it underscores the need for a multifaceted approach that considers both law enforcement and holistic solutions to address the root causes of drug-related issues.